This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Good evening, everyone. Frustrated Tasmanians have rallied in their thousands at the bottom of Mount Wellington, protesting the site's proposed cable car. They say the mountain belongs to the people and isn't for sale. But the government remains adamant the project is supported by the majority of Tasmanians.
An iconic backdrop to one of the state's biggest protests in decades.
There's nothing like Kanani elsewhere on earth. It brings us together, and it has brought us together here today.
Around 4,000 Tasmanians uniting to voice one message.
Mr Hodgman, we are on the move. Kanani is in our safekeeping, and Kanani will be saved from this cable car.
The cable car company says they'll take the kids free up to the top of the mountain. Well, I've got some news. The mountain's always been free.
We love it and we cherish it and we don't want it to change.
Speakers criticising the proponents over a perceived lack of transparency and community consultation over the $54 million development.
And we learned recently that the government even told the proponent to go quiet, to keep a lid on it, for one reason, and that was to take the heat out of the issue and to sideline the community.
And then Reen Heading's more likely to become Speaker than you can believe a word the cable car company says.
This week, the government ordered the Mount Wellington Cable Car Company to cease all preliminary works on the mountain after red tape and surveying pegs were found on the fire trail on Old Farm Road.
But the government is ensuring that the proper process is followed, including permits being issued that should be followed.
The Tourism Industry Council is urging the community to consider the benefits of the project, arguing there's currently a lack of any other suitable alternatives to get people to the summit.
And they are raising funds here in case there's a point at which they have to challenge that process in court. And there are plenty of good people working very hard to defend this mountain.
And they'll never accept any development on Mount Wellington. We know that. But it is part of our plan. It's been strongly supported.
And we will fight and we will not stop until we win. Thank you.
A fight yet to reach its peak. Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
Damaged electrical wiring in a roof is being blamed for causing a Youngtown home to catch fire early this morning. The blaze, which started just before 7 a.m, destroyed part of the roof, and the debris also ruined much of the lounge room.
When the owner came home, he noticed that there was smoke inside his roof and used the garden hose to dampen the fire down, but got too smoky, so he evacuated and called 000.
Damage has been estimated at up to $150,000. Keen multisporters have taken on a gruelling Sunday challenge, kayaking, riding and running through Trevelyan's recreation area. 150 people took on the 6th annual Icebreaker Challenge, the event aiming to showcase Launceston's adventure playground.
Setting a steady pace to start the Icebreaker Challenge. Competitors paddling a gruelling 9 kilometres up and down Trevelyan Lake. The juniors first off the water, followed by the first male team. A punishing uphill climb before it was time to saddle on.
Numbers are a little bit down, but the enthusiasm and motivation and community support and the feel of the event is still there, so we're really happy.
On the bike, athletes completed 3 big loops, riding a total of 18 kilometres.
Pretty nice little course actually. Yeah, I'm a road rider, so it kind of suited me. It was nice and flowing and fast.
Some who took on the challenge individually were feeling it by the run.
What's it like out there?
Oh, shit house.
Others charged on.
Lovely. Go the bananas.
The team event taken out by the Ironmen.
I think I was third out of the block, so I knew I had a battle ahead of me, but it was I ended up chasing them down and holding off one young competitor, which was good to see.
In the individuals, no one could chase down Alex Hunt, the Hobart multisporter using the event as training before competing in Sweden late next month.
My legs felt pretty tight on a run. I've had a big week of training and yeah, the old hamstrings weren't too happy when I got out of the boat, but yeah, they held together.
It was good fun, good crowd, good competitors.
Everybody says, oh, I didn't realise how good the tracks are up here, and even parks note the usage the month before and the month after just increases massively. So it's a great way to showcase what we have up the north.
Monique Dadson, Southern Cross News.
Residents of Hobart have voted in the Legislative Council elections, and once again incumbent Rob Valentine will re-secure his seat in Parliament's upper house. Political pundits say it's a closer call in Prosser, with the Liberals' Jane Howlett leading in the newly formed electorate.
A sigh of relief for Rob Valentine, taking down signs after a month of intense campaigning.
Tramping up the hills and on the doors and all of those sorts of things. So, yeah, I never take elections lightly, and I don't think you can second guess the public.
The incumbent re-securing the seat of Hobart, trailed by independent Richard Griggs and Liberals Simon Barakis.
A very strong lead with 44%.
He was always in the bog seat. But having said that, Richard Griggs as an independent got 25% of the vote. So I think legislative councillors need to be on notice that voters are willing to consider other options.
Not so clear-cut in Prosser, with Liberals' Jane Howlett leading with almost 5,000 votes, closely followed by Labor's Jeanette Lambert and ex-Glenorchy councillor Steve Mav.
In a field of 13 candidates, it's a very impressive result for Jane and an endorsement of our plan.
This political analyst says he's not surprised the Liberals have secured 25% of the votes, considering the electorate is mostly regional.
And Jane Howlett, has polled well in the seat of Lyons in the last couple of state elections, so she had that profile in the community. And if you look at the state election results in that seat, there's very strong support for the Hodgman governments.
The distribution of preferences will be undertaken at the cut-off for receiving postal votes.
We really will have to wait till we do that distribution to be able to know who's going to win.
A nail-biting finish to what's already considered to have been a tough week for the government. Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
A motorist has escaped without serious injury after the car they were driving caught fire on the Brooker Highway around 1 o'clock this afternoon. Traffic was backed up for some time as emergency crews worked to control the blaze. The cause understood to be the result of a mechanical fault.
It was a fitting clash at Darcy Street for two of the NPL's strongest sides, with South Hobart and Olympia both desperate for the 3 points. Following a scoreless first half, Olympia struck 20 minutes into the second, courtesy of Gordon Gerson. A costly mistake at a crucial stage of the match saw Adam Gorry convert for the home side's first, before Alex Walter made the most of this Nick Morton cross to give South the 2-1 win. And it was a double dose of success at the Derwin Entertainment Centre today as the women's and men's Chargers side did the home crowd proud, both teams holding off late onslaughts from Geelong in two nail-biting finishes.
Craig Moller brought a touch of NBL class to get things rolling for the Chargers, but it was the Supercats who looked the goods early. With the home side struggling to get them to fall outside the arc, Geelong showed them how it was done, before Zach White reminded the visitors whose house they were in. Two long-range bombs from Mathai Muo saw the Chargers claw back some of the difference, Nichols then squaring things up in style. Some desperation from White keeping things interesting before the momentum shifted in the Supercats' favour as they headed into the main break 10 points up. But with just 2 wins for the season, Hobart's hunger for another began to prove the difference in the home stretch, overrunning the visitors to claim the 6-point win. Looking to turn their underwhelming season around, the women's side refused to give an inch against Geelong, with things neck and neck for the first 3 quarters of play, to set things up for an intense final term showdown. American import Britt Smart leading the way with 23 points as the home side's defensive pressure forced the visitors to slip up. But the final term wasn't without its nervous moments for the home crowd, with the Supercats taking the lead as the clock wound down. Kathleen Shear helping to steady the ship as the Chargers regain control to come away the 5-point winners. Overnight, the Thunder were far too good for the Supercats at home, notching up their 3rd win of the season by 18 points.
Good evening. Hobart and Burnie 17 today, Launceston and Devonport 18. Some fresh northwesterly winds brought those temperatures down a few pegs. Bushy Park and King Island joined Devonport and Launceston on our state top of 18. Campania, Ouse, Maria Island, Smithton and Lowhead 17. Grove and Strawn 16. Liaweenie 9, and our lowest temperature was a 2 overnight on Mount Wellington. The highest rainfall today was 44 mil near Rosebery on the west coast. On the satellite, we can see low level cloud over the western half of Tasmania, with higher bands of cloud over the east. Nationwide, an onshore flow is pushing low-level cloud around the east coast of Tasmania. Extensive bands of mid and high-level cloud over Western Australia with low cloud trailing it. The remainder of the country is mostly cloud-free. Tomorrow, a vigorous cold front is bearing down on Tasmania and a trough will extend from South Australia to Western Australia. On the water, north to northwesterly winds to 40 knots about the west, southwesterly swells to 5 metres. There's plenty of warnings, with a severe weather warning for damaging winds across Tasmania from Monday afternoon, a storm force wind warning current for western coastal waters, gale warnings current for all remaining coastal waters, a small craft wind alert for the southwest and central plateau lakes, and a warning to sheep graziers for King Island and to the northwest and southeast districts. Tomorrow will be best spent indoors by the sound of it. Hobart and Dover, showers 20, Ooze, showers 19, Launceston, showers 18, Devonport 17 and Scottsdale wet as well, 16. Burnie and Stanley, showers 17. Strawn, showers 19. St Helens, showers 19. Swansea, showers 20. And Ross, wet also on 16. The farmers are going to love it. The 3-day forecast starting Tuesday has showers contracting to the southwest late in the morning, with windy conditions also expected statewide. Wednesday, showers about the west extending statewide during the morning. And on Thursday, more showers statewide, with the winds reducing to light ones. 13 for Launceston. It's getting quite cold. Lapping the map tomorrow, Perth cloudy 22, Cairns still on 29, Melbourne partly cloudy 20 and Sydney sunny with 25. And apart from the wind, it's not too bad out there at the moment. Hobart and Burnie 17, Launceston and Devonport 18. That's all from me. Thanks, Rach.
Thanks for that, Candice. That's all your news for now. Good night.